Hi, thanks for tuning in to another one of my videos. I like to demonstrate today how I tighten up my locks. Normally what I do is I section my hair in cornrows or just plaits going horizontal, 3 sections on each side. I tend to do the back section first, but if you are pressed for time, then you would just do the 2 front sections and then it will look fresh. That's if you're pressed for time. And then you can come back, return later, and finish off the other sections. I take one section out at a time and use that as a guide to move along the hair. I'll attempt to get this close in so you can see. There's not a whole lot of new growth, but there is quite a bit. It's enough. I did this row on this side, and it's enough to get 3 tightens or 3 loops, and in some instances 4. I use this tool and I will thread this hair piece through the tool, and as I said before, I do not go in a mirror because it makes it difficult for me to see, but I take my fingers. I'm hoping you'll be able to see this. I'll move slow so you can see it. I take my finger and go around the hair, the base of each, and that way I know it's clear and separated from the next one. And then I'll take and thread it through. Depends on, sometimes I'll start here in the front and sometimes I'll start on the side. It's up to you. It really doesn't matter, and then it's as tight as you want. I don't like it really tight, so that's 3 loops that just made, and then move it over and out of the way, and I go to the next one, do the same thing, and this way I don't have to sit in the mirror. I go around each lock, and if there's anything catching, just pop it, because your hair is going to automatically lock or tangle itself with the next one. That one only went 2 loops. Like I said, I usually I let it go a little longer so I can get a nice full rotation of 4 loops. Pull it through, check around the braid, the lock rather, to make sure it's not tangled with any other hair from another lock, and then go in. I'm going starting from front to back, and then go on one side, and then back to front, from the back towards the front. And this one will take a full rotation, and then I go to the other side. Now while you're doing that, when you pull this lock, sometimes it will catch other hair, and so you still go around the base to make sure it's free and clear of the next lock, and then just pull it out. I do that to make sure it's not connected to the next lock. I don't have to eyeball it in the mirror, stand in the mirror each time. I run my finger around the base, clearing any hair that may be from any side, a lock on any side, and then I begin thread excuse me, thread it through and pull the next side. Notice I'm pulling the hair, all the hair for this one lock. I will pull it to make sure there's nothing joining, because if you don't separate it, you can thread this through one of these and pull it that way. And to prevent that, you just make sure my finger is here at the side of the lock. I don't go any further than that. I run my tool to my finger and through it. So I do that on both sides. I'm going to run the tool from back to front, and that's how I keep my lines parts in my hair. I place my thumb here at the front of the lock and pull it over, and I place my index finger at the back of the lock. Those are my two guides. I then take the tool, put the tool, just feel it rather. Take the tool and put it where my index finger is, and when it hits my thumb, I push this hair back, I keep my thumb in place. The tool is now on my thumb. Because it's a flexible tool, it'll run right up the side of my thumb and come right through clear. And that's how I keep my locks clean and separated. I keep the lines, rather. I keep the parts in. I've done such a good job. It takes a little getting used to, but once you get used to it, it's easy. Like I said, I sit down, it's threaded through. I run my finger around the lock, and then I'll place a thumb at the back of the lock where the part is. Pull the lock over, place my index finger here, pressing the front lock out of the way. That one hasn't taken too good. It keeps, my edges are broken. And that's the front of the lock. The thumb is at the back, the index finger is at the front. Now I thread the lock, touch the index finger, thread the lock through. When it hit that thumb, I know to pull the tool up. And then I can just sit and watch a nice movie and thread along, because I'm allowing this tool to hit the thumb. Use the index finger and the thumb to surround the lock that you're going to tighten, and do not go past your index finger. You don't have to have this tool at your scalp. All it needs to be is in that block of hair that you're locking, and your index finger is the guide. So if your index finger is here, you touch the tool here, run it under the index finger, and it automatically hits the thumb. When you feel it hit the thumb, don't move it somewhere else. Keep it right there and then press it through. It'll start threading through. It bends, and you use this finger to press the lock onto the tool, and it will slide right up and out. Again, thumb at the back of the lock, index finger at the front of the lock, and that keeps the locks separate. Run the tool over your index finger and then under it. Once it hits the hair underneath the index finger, you press it in, and the tool will go up through the lock, and then you pull it. When you come to the edges, that one had a little hair caught with the other one. You always separate them. Thumb to the back. Now, you can't see it, but you may be able to hear it. There is a snag right here, and I'm not going to allow that to stay, because the two will end up locking together. So I'm going to just lightly pop it. When you are locking it, the hair is going to grow, and that will get caught up into the lock. So no worries about it breaking off at times, because it will happen. The hair will break off, it will snag, and it will break off. This one was a little looser than the other ones. The ones on the edge, now a lot of times I will go in the mirror to get the ones right on the edge. There is, I don't know if you'll be able to see it. There is some hair loose here, and I want it in this lock. And so what I do is I put it all together, and that's when I take the crochet hook, very small crochet hook, and place it through. Again, I'm holding the hair separate from the rest. One lock is separated from the rest using my index finger and my thumb. I have the lock there, and I have the straight hair there. And now I will thread this hook through the base. It doesn't really matter where it goes at through the base as long as it's through the base. Then I will wrap this hair around and into the hook. My thumb will hold the hair into the hook, and then I will pull it through the lock. And it catches the hair in there. And just do it again in another direction. When it's like that close to the edges, I don't really worry about keeping the rotation at exactly, I don't really worry about keeping the rotation at exactly 12 o'clock, 3 o'clock, 6 o'clock, and 9 o'clock. I just go to the opposite side. I just go around and around and around until it's tightened up, because my hair is not checking to see if I went at the exact points on the clock, and neither am I. As long as you go around, rotate around the hair, it will lock. Those points are there to just help you get used to going around. I'm trying to see if I can get up close on that so that you can see it went right in nice and neat. And that was the stray hair here. This little sprig right here was the stray hair, and it's locked into there. And so that's how you do it. It makes for a nice, you can see the difference. And this side tightened and this side is still loose. We'll take care of that in just a moment. But it makes it nice and neat. And they all stay separate. And it makes the hair fall much easier. Thank you for tuning in for this video demonstration on how I tighten my locks. See you next time. Thank you.